Welcome to the Don't Get Fooled Show with Big Ray's College Football Week 7. Let's go, Ace!
All right, boys and girls, College Football Week 7. Cannot wait, Big Ree. It's that time of year that we know which teams are doing well, which teams are not, the contenders, the pretenders, and this is the juiciest time of college football and NFL. Time to cash in. Jump on the money train, boys and girls. Let's get right into it. So without further ado, here we go, boys and girls. Aquí vamos, chicos y chicas. Let's go. All right, game one. We got South Carolina at LSU in Baton Rouge. LSU is a 9-point favorite. We got South Carolina 3-2, coming off a 35-13 win versus Kentucky. They didn't look great in this game, but Kentucky, obviously 4 turnovers. Hard to win games when you have 4 turnovers. Lenore Sellers, the quarterback from South Carolina, is playing well, but this guy is not playing at a Heisman candidate level, and everybody was hyping them up. He's a nice young QB. Some has the potential, but he's not at a Heisman level. He's not just like Arch Manning, not there. This snapped a 2-game losing streak for South Carolina. They lost 29-20 to Missouri, and they lost 31-7 to Vanderbilt. Then we got LSU, ranked number 11. They are 4-1, coming off a 24-19 loss to Ole Miss at Ole Miss. Snapped a 4-game winning streak for LSU. Look, this good game, but look, LSU is a good team. Ole Miss isn't also a good team. They're a top 5 team, and they did have. Look, there was a bad loss to Ole Miss, but they beat Clemson in week 1, and they beat Florida in week 3. Right, so those are both solid teams. And here's my thoughts on this game. First of all, quarterback Garrett Nussmeier for LSU has not been playing well. He's been playing serviceable, but he's not been playing the potential that is expected of him. And first of all, the soft schedule. I'm not buying the soft schedule of South Carolina, and I'm not buying Sellers as a top-tier QB. This is in Baton Rouge, and I really like LSU. I think this is an easy one. I'm taking LSU -9. All right, game 2. We got number 6 Oklahoma versus unranked Texas. Texas is a 2.5-point favorite. This game is being played at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. Number 6 Oklahoma 5-0, coming off a 44-0 win versus Kent State. They are on a 5-game winning streak. They are starting quarterback Michael Hawkins Jr. in place of the injured John Mateer. Hawkins is a solid quarterback, definitely a solid backup. Last year was his freshman year. He looked okay. But here's my thoughts on Oklahoma. Very weak schedule. They played Illinois State. They played Temple, Kent State. Look, I'll give them credit. They did beat Michigan, which is a solid team, and they beat Auburn at home. But overall, weak schedule with a backup quarterback. And then we got Texas, who's 3-2. They're coming off a 29-21 loss to Florida. This is a game Big Ree called. He really liked Florida. He said this was an easy one. Arch Manning, 2 more interceptions on the season. This guy just continues to throw the ball away. He's just, at the end of the day, Arch Manning is not him. Okay, Arch Manning is not him. Both losses for Texas are on the road to Ohio State and Florida. This is a big game for Texas because they're outside of the top 25. One more loss and they will not make the playoffs. I'll make that loud and clear. They cannot lose any more games unless it comes via a championship game, conference championship game. But other than that, they gotta start winning. And First of all, this is more about me saying Oklahoma is overrated. I'm not buying them with John Mateer, and I'm definitely not buying them with Michael Hawkins Jr. at a neutral field in Dallas, Texas. And so I really, really like Texas here. This is my lock of the week. I'm taking Texas minus 2.5. All right, game 3. We got Indiana at Oregon. Oregon is a 7.5 point favorite. Number 7, Indiana, 5-0, coming off a 2015 win versus Iowa prior to the bye week. They were actually down in this game early in the fourth quarter, but they did squeak it out. Quarterback Fernando Mendoza, this is the transfer from Cal, 73% completion, 1,200 yards, 16 touchdowns, only 1 interception on the season. They are 16-2 in their last 18 games, Indiana. Both of the losses are on the road. They lost 38-15 last season to Ohio State, and they lost 27-17 to Notre Dame. Then we got Oregon 5-0. They're coming off a 30-24 overtime win versus Penn State prior to the bye week. They outgained Penn State 424-276. They are led by quarterback Dante Moore, the transfer from UCLA. This guy, 74% completion, 14 touchdowns, 1 interception. These are video game numbers from both of these quarterbacks. Both teams here have weak schedules, both of them. Indiana's got a weak schedule. So does Oregon, other than this Penn State game. And look, Oregon's coming off a big win versus Penn State, but honestly, they're not looking super impressive. That's my thought on Oregon. And I'm not impressed either with Penn State, obviously. We're not going to get into that. But I think this is going to be a very close game here. I know a lot of people are going to jump on Oregon here, especially coming off that Penn State win. But I like this to be a close game here, and I'm actually rolling with Indiana here. Don't get fooled. I'm taking Indiana plus 7.5. All right, Big Reed, let's go.
The first game I got is Alabama at Missouri. Alabama coming off a 30-14 win versus Vanderbilt. Missouri coming off a 42-6 win versus UMass. Not much to say there. Missouri has not played anyone great. Best win comes versus South Carolina. Alabama struggled versus Vanderbilt last week. The score looks good. At one point, Vanderbilt had the lead, and they scored a touchdown at the end. Alabama did. Best win on the season comes versus Georgia in Georgia, but they also lost to Florida State in Florida State. I think everyone and their mom is going to be on Alabama here. I'm going to take the exact opposite. I'm taking Missouri plus 3.5. That's my lock of the week. The next game I got is Florida at Texas A&M. Florida coming off a huge upset win, as Ace mentioned, 29-21 versus Texas in Florida. Gainesville at home at the Swamp. Texas A&M coming off a 31-9 win versus Mississippi State at home. Look, DJ Legault played well. He had 298 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, passer rating of 180.8. Great rush game as well. Huge win versus Texas, but they also have 3 losses on the season. 2 come on the road. 1 versus LSU, other versus Miami. Versus LSU was 20-10, Miami 26-7, and they lost at home to South Florida. Texas A&M is going to play well. Don't get fooled on the win last week versus Texas. That was at the Swamp. This is on the road. I'm taking Texas A&M minus 7. The last game I got is BYU at Arizona. BYU 5-0 coming off a win, 38-24 win versus West Virginia. Arizona coming off a 41-13 win versus Oklahoma State. Not really much saying there. 1 loss for Arizona comes versus ranked Iowa State, 39-14. I'm not buying BYU and their defense. The defense struggled versus West Virginia. This is in Arizona, so I'm taking Arizona plus 1.5.
All right. Cannot wait. Should be a juicy week 7. All right.